That's all right. That's part of the video. Here we are.
It's live TV.
We're back for part 2 here in North Jersey from Bill's collection, which I got to mention again, in just 5 short years. It's remarkable. I've seen this happen, and it only happens when someone has a love for the games and appreciates them. So we want to take you down this other row here, and we're going to pick up where we left off on part 1. And
thanks, Vic. So continuing on with the later wedge heads, this is from the spring of '78. This is Neptune, another Add-A-Ball game. They only made 270 of these. So they're rare. They don't come up very often. I also got this game from Dave Matrando.
Wow.
Just like the game, just like the Atlantis.
this is sick.
And it's beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful.
You could tell I'm having a good time by myself here while Bill is just talking. I hate to interrupt him, but I got to tell you, man,
it's so much fun.
It's impressive.
Yeah,
it's very impressive.
You can get this thing going, and it's you can be playing this for a half an hour on one game. It's a lot of fun.
So isn't there another one that has the red score wheels? Is it?
Hit the Deck is the replay version.
Oh, you got Add-A-Ball here, right?
This is Neptune. This is the Add-A-Ball. So they only made 270
I think you just said that, right?
The Hit the Deck, I think they made like 350 of them. So they're rare. I mean, at this point in the pinball world, the single-player games were falling out of favor for the multiplayer games, and you had the EM technology, which is falling out of favor for the solid state. So these last batch of single-player EM wedge heads were very rare because the public in the United States, they didn't really want them. They wanted the solid state, the new technology, the multiplayer games. I happen to love these games because I think they look cool, they play great, and they're very, very rare. So that moves us on to December 1978. This is the last Add-A-Ball wedge head that Gottlieb made. It's called Rockstar. They only made one other wedge head after this, which was TKO in March of '79, which is a replay game. Now this game, if you said to me for world peace, Billy, you can only keep one wedge head, this would be the one.
I love this game.
This game is super, super cool.
Yes.
I love music, so I love the theme.
Is that Sonny and Cher?
I think it's supposed to be Sonny and Cher, but who knows? Not really sure. So anyway, they made 270 of these in December of '78. Most of them were exported out of the country. So when you find one that comes up here in the States, it's very rare. So this came up in North Carolina. It was simply, I found it on Pinside, and it was the only pinball game that the lady had. Usually you see these as part of collections. Now when I got it, it needed a lot of work. My wife and I went down to North Carolina, drove down there for a weekend.
Great story.
It up, and the play field was really, really rough. So
Really? This play field?
well, let me tell you the story. A couple weeks later on eBay, there was a guy in Italy that had an NOS playfield.
Unbelievable.
And that's what you're looking at.
I don't know.
So,
This guy is a top collector here in New Jersey. I don't know. He's pushing heavy on a lot of the other collectors here. He's pushing heavy
like
on.
I said, I wanted
You know what I mean, Lou? Don't be quiet, because you got games in the house too over there. We're going to get to your house. I'm doing you next.
So
But anyway,
I wanted to put the investment and the time and effort into getting this game right.
wow.
And I
Remarkable.
cleaned up the cabinet. And
Cabinet came out great.
Yeah.
Good original, 2 originals here. Just again, purist at heart. I could tell it's so difficult, like he said, to find a Rockstar, period, and then to find one and have one like this look like this now.
And
Incredible.
It's so much fun to play.
We're here down at
So
the
now we start
multiplayer
the
games.
multiplayer games.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so this game is 1973 Bally Nippet, and this really started my love for pinball. Growing up in the 70s, pinball was a big deal. It was, probably the heyday for pinball. So, we used to go up to Lake George, New York, with the arcades up there, down the shore here in New Jersey, of course, and then there was many local pinball arcades just around the area. So my father and I used to go to a place in Roxbury, out in Morris County, called Playtime Amusements. And we used to just go play pinball. So one day in 1979, we were driving home on Route 80, and my father said to me, "Hey, buddy, I got some bad news." the arcade is closing. So
Oh,
for
wow.
an 11-year-old kid, that was about the worst news I had ever heard.
Oh,
Okay?
I didn't know that
So-
you were this addicted to pinball.
So he said to me, now here's the good news. The man that owns the arcade is selling all the games.
Oh, no.
So he said to my father, I see your boy likes Nip It, and I will offer that up to you guys for $300. So my father tells me this story, and he says to me, now look, you have a paper route. I hope you've saved some money. If you have,
I didn't.
I'll
It
go
went
in
to, it went to
partners with you.
pinball, all my paper
He
money.
goes, I'll give you 150, you put up the other 150, and we'll get the game and we'll put it in your bedroom. So I knew,
Wow.
driving home, I had the money.
Wow.
So we pull in the house, pull in the driveway, he goes into the kitchen, I run up to my room to get the money, and I hear him say to my mother, so I tell the kid, if he comes up to 150, we'll go partners and we'll buy a pinball machine. I put the 150 down on the kitchen table, I
And
looked at my mother and he goes, we just bought a pinball machine.
wait a minute.
And
He's-
we've had it
This
ever
is a true
since.
story because we have
And here
documentation.
is the documentation. This is the sales receipt
Wow.
from December 5th of 1979 from Playtime Amusements.
All right.
We gave him $50 and then another
You
$250.
told us where it all stems from.
That's where it
now we
started.
know
So
why you have this great collection
that's
you
how it
have.
started.
And we all know the love that you have and passion for these games. And I'm happy to be here sharing it with you. Now, that's a Bally. So
That's
we
a
went
Bally.
from
So that's
all
the first Bally
Here you
that
go.
you'll
You got
see.
all the wedge heads. And now we're on Bally, Williams. I actually had a Grand Prix.
So
This,
this
is
is
a nice
the only
one.
Williams game I have. I'm a big auto racing fan, and a lot of the auto racing themed games I'm not in love with, except this one. This is a super fun player. It's 1976 Williams.
It is.
It
I
plays
had
like a
it.
solid state game. I mean,
Oh, it has
super
DC
fast.
voltage.
It does.
The
DC
flippers,
voltage. Yeah,
the
just like
kicks.
your blue chip.
That's right.
Same deal. So it plays
And
really,
the-
really fast.
And the pop bumpers have DC
Oh, yeah.
voltage. So you got the kicks, the side kicks here, flippers, and pop bumpers on this beautiful back glass. I tell you, I had two Grand Prix actually.
I bought this
This
from
is
a
a
nice
real
guy
nice one.
in Williamsport,
This is original too,
Pennsylvania.
isn't it?
Yeah, he did some work on the playfield. I did some more work on the playfield.
Cabinet's
after
beautiful.
I get it.
Back glass.
After I got it, yep. So that moves us to 1977. Now this Blackjack, it's another Bally game. Vic, it's the rarest game down here.
I've been dying to play one.
So it's a two-player EM version of
Just
this
as
game.
bad as you, maybe
In
worse.
1977, they only made 120 of these. Now
Yeah,
you're
this is
probably
a-
familiar with the four-player solid-state version, which they made in '78. They made about 6,500 of those.
Right, right.
So
This is the
came
more
up,
rare
I
one.
bought it from a guy out in Indiana.
Where, Pinside?
It was through Pinside, and then he and I actually never met. Two of his buddies met two of my buddies at Pinfest, and we made the deal. So I got that in
Wow.
May.
You see, he went around the USA to build this collection here.
The cool
I'm not
thing
kidding
about
you.
this blackjack is you're actually playing blackjack.
Well, that's the game I have in the
That's-
garage.
That's the cool thing.
Called Lady Luck by Williams.
Yes.
It's a two-player game also. It's a blackjack theme. It's a 68.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know if this
This
has
is
DC.
77.
This may have DC voltage.
Plays pretty fast.
I'll figure it out.
I'm not
But
100% sure.
the
but
Lady Luck that I have is plays just like blackjack. Now, does it show the dealer's hand in the back glass?
So what it does is it shows the dealer's hand here, player's hand there. Now,
Okay, so I didn't
if the
play
ball
through.
goes into this kick-out hole and the player has a better hand, the winner buzzes and you get the 5,000 points and you build your bonus. If that happens 3 times, you get the corresponding bonus.
Wow.
5 times, now you're really in good shape. And then if you do it more than that, you get an extra ball.
You may need the Lady Luck side by side. You got plenty of room here. Don't let me sell to strangers.
All right, so that's a
Okay.
really cool game and a rare game that
It's his world, Dan.
you know. So then
Yeah,
that moves
I love
us
the
to-
blackjack games. I really
that
do.
moves us to a very popular
I had a beautiful jet spin.
Gottlieb multiplayer, later EM. This is late in '77 jet spin. And this is kind of a funny story. My wife and I went to go look at a solid state game at this gentleman's house in the Lower Hudson Valley, and we passed on it. So as we're talking, had a beer with the guy. He had this there set up, so I said, "Hey, can I play it?" Yeah, sure. So I'm playing a game, and I really liked it. I said to my wife Lynn, "Hey, would you play a game on this and tell me what you think?" 10 minutes later, she's like, "This is really fun." So I had no intention of buying a jet spin. It's not really rare.
You
But
made
it's
a great
super fun game
choice.
to play. It's all original. The back glass is fantastic.
You made a great
and it gets
choice.
a lot of play when
You
when I
know
have people
about
down.
gameplay, which is
Yeah.
pretty good. I mean, a lot of people like to collect for other reasons, you know, artwork, this, that, the rarity. But I think your priority is really gameplay. I think firsthand, I don't know if that's true. You could probably confirm that, or
I
you.
like gameplay.
or-
I also like to get games that are rare that you don't
Okay.
see in a lot of other places.
Yeah, this jet spin is just a beautiful condition one too. Here, I remember playing mine. It has everything going for it. For those that don't know the gameplay, I'll make it quickly. I mean, you have so many places to go. You have special up here. You have a roto spin back here. You have a special a center roto spin here for the kick out. You got vary targets. You got stand up targets. You got bonus value. I mean, I'm going quickly here because we don't want to take too much time up. We got guests arriving shortly.
The target to the top left is the toughest shot in the room.
I remember saying I'd never sell my jet spin, and thank God it's in Nutley, just 2 miles away from me. I feel so much better. I don't think I'm going to sell any games that are not in North Jersey. People buyers are not in New Jersey.
So the last,
More I
and
think
the,
about
and
it.
the last and the newest multiplayer game.
This is pretty nice.
This is an EM version of Joker Poker. This is April of 1978. Now, Joker Poker, in my opinion, is one of the top 3 pinball machines that have ever been made. It is a phenomenal player.
I have
It's
the
got
solid state game.
3 flippers. Now, the solid state version was a big seller for Gottlieb. They made nearly 10,000 of them. The EM version came out first. And again, like I said earlier about the EM technology was fading away at this point. So they made this version. They made 836 of them. And about 600 of those were exported. So that only kept about 150, let's say, round numbers, in the United States. Now, here's the funny thing. When I was a kid, there was a local pizzeria right in town, and they had an EM version of Joker Poker in the pizzeria. So my buddies and I would go in there. We were
Wow.
10 years old. We'd go in there. We'd order 1 slice and a Coke because we had no money. And we
We
would
had
save
money
all
then.
we'd save all our money to play pinball.
I
And we
know
would
what you
play,
mean.
We would play this game for hours, and the pizza shop owner would get pissed at us. You cannot stay and just
Oh, yeah,
to
you
play
can't
the
make no
pinball.
money.
You gotta order
Right,
food.
right,
No,
right.
no, no. So he got all mad. At
I
us.
got
So-
barred out of places.
Yeah.
They told me, don't come back.
So then we go in one day, and the pinball machine's gone, and there's a black box standing up, and it says like Space Invaders on it. I said to the Italian guy, "Hey, what happened to the pinball machine?" "I don't know. They come in and they take it away, and now I got this here. I
Yeah,
don't know."
yeah, yeah.
And so that was it. And that's when the arcade stuff came around, and it just really wasn't our thing.
I think you touched on something that's really the main reason, and I knew about it, and you just brought it up again, is a lot of all these electromechanical late 70 games, Joker Poker being one of the latest, you know, Neptune and Rockstar late. A lot of these late games, and even Williams was making games late in the 70s, and Bally's too. What happened was, I think the main thing was the Pac-Mans, Atari games.
That's what killed it, buddy.
All of that really,
That's what killed it.
what happened is the vendors knew that they no longer had to work on these electromechanical games, which were pesty. A lot of them didn't know about them. They would break down because of the mechanical circuits and units. And when they found a product that would make them double the amount of money in less time than the pinball machines, the electromechanicals were making, they decided to just take all these late 70s games and take them off route. Even though that's why you see a lot of the late 70 games are in really nice shape, original games, because they actually came out, and all the vendors that were operating, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, wherever, New York, they took them off the route and put in these digital video games. It was a big craze and just knocked pinball out of the socket.
This particular example was in a home, private home, from 1981. So that speaks to what you're saying.
That's where it lies. I mean, I know you said other things, but I think that the main reason was again, the video craze came out with Space Invaders and Pac-Man.
So
All
then
right.
we end up the collection with another rare Mannequin.
This is an
ball.
original, or is it a remake?
It was redone quite a few years ago.
But it's original.
But it's an original.
Because they remade this.
1956.
You know that, right?
Benchmark remade it in 1990.
Okay, I
This
didn't
is
know
a
that.
real Williams honest to goodness, 10 pins version. There's another version
Charlie's
called-
looking for one of these.
Another version called 10 Strike, which actually will give you a replay. This is the non-replay version.
Yes.
It's super fun to play. These Mannequin bowlers are any of these Mannequin games.
This is just
they're
a
really sought after, and I just kind of ran into this.
great
And
play.
I got a really good deal on it from a friend of mine down the shore, who's a really good pinball and arcade collector, Adam.
Oh.
Adam Kowalski. Yep.
My buddy Adam.
Yep, our buddy Adam. So it's super fun to play.
That's beautiful.
And it's neat.
I
It's-
really
it's
love
really
that
neat.
game.
So,
It's really, I'll tell you, Billy, I'm going to walk down with you now. We'll stroll back down. We're going to end this video. It's part 2. Another North Jersey collector gone wild.
all your
All
fault,
right.
Vic. All your fault.
I mean, I'm really enjoying this video and coming here. I love the stories. I mean, stories mean so much to me. And like I said, things of that nature really make it special. So we're going to close out, and the guests will be coming in. We're going to have some fun. I'm going to just spin around here and do a little short thing here on his Seaberg. Looks like a C to me.
It is.
And I love the
This is
Seabergs.
from,
I had about 23 Seabergs
1952.
myself. Yep.
I got this from a Jukebox guy in Bergen County in Park Ridge. He had restored it. We just got done last weekend, me and my wife and my parents. We matched up the records with the labels. Look at our nice label work, Vic.
I love it.
It's pretty nice.
I love it. Listen,
We're going to go into business.
I had 23 boxes.
Yeah.
And I love making the labels and stuff. There's a CD. And don't forget, I have 7,045
you
records in
do.
alphabetical order, cleaned and pressed, all in new white sleeves.
Right.
And they all have a little indentation on the left side about the group, and then a price rating, which doesn't really count, the price rating. And I just went through all 7,000 and found all my doubles and triples and made piles of them
Okay.
because I'm consolidating.
Well, we're looking for more.
So if you need a record,
We're looking for more.
and I could find it in under 30 seconds.
Okay. We need it in the still of the night.
We need the platters.
We need some. We'll give you a list.
All right, we're going to stroll down here to the bar a little bit and just take a quick little video of this corner. Just a wonderful, wonderful place. We're going to have an enjoyable day. I can't wait to participate. And till next time.